Welcome to PonyCon Podcast, the best news in and outside of China, with your host HeiManTou and
Hello, I'm Ninja Girl Emily
and
PackCrackManiac on TikTok and YouTube.
to start with a drink. This time I've got a beer. I'm not having it hard today, just beer. It's a Mandarin beer, not an IPA. It's some sort of Chinese beer. So normally I'm not a beer drinker, but I got work tomorrow, so I can't be drinking anything hard.
Fair
I
enough.
don't drink at all, so
I have a cup of tea.
Right. Okay. So I probably should start, and that is that we've all had a bit of an adventure the last few days.
yes.
Basically the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's been like a roller coaster for all of us with things we've been up and doing. But I'll go first, and that's finally after like a month and a half of complete red tape and annoying things, my store is finally back up online. Yay!
Huzzah!
So it's going to make things a lot. Yeah. So, and there's price drops because we actually got another supplier. So now we actually have 4 different suppliers. So we got some competition now when it comes to like sourcing our goods. So there's some big drops.
Yay.
So that's been great. That's all back out. And the main thing is that last time we spoke, me and Emily on the last podcast together, was that I was off to this really, the Fly With Me event, and it was my first real kind of like Kayou event I've gone to with them. I got given a VIP lanyard. You can see here this VIP one here. So it meant I could go in, and I went on the day when it was only VIPs only, saw the merch, and like...
Has it got a cute pony like design on the badge?
On the badge, it's got the ponies on them, and on the back it says Kayou. So yeah, it's
That is so cool.
that says in Chinese,
very cool.
fly by me, fly with me. And I think I need to check the Chinese on that, but that doesn't look like VIP to me in Chinese. I can't remember that, so I'm gonna have to look at what that means. I think it means guest maybe. But yeah, I was at the event, and it was I was really cheeky because they weren't allowing like people to really buy things that much, especially like the large plush. But because like I'm a foreigner, and that like for the press, it was a cool thing for them to have a foreigner with their plush and do their ceremony. Yeah, a ceremony. I was given Emily's.
Yeah, I saw the video.
Fluttershy and her, and the Twilight. And I'm standing there, and it's like this star behind me, and it's like the voice of Fluttershy going me, and it's like these like film crews film me, and I'm like trying to like understand what's going on, but I look like some like gammon football hooligan holding like these 2 like birds. Gone to the club and pulled 2 birds, so I got like both these like large plushes. And it just looks so surreal, and it's like, oh my god. So, but for them, for the press, it was good for them. And yeah, I had interviews with 2 things you saw. One I've posted up on YouTube. Another one I've not seen yet, but they're meant to be putting up at some point as well. But they actually cut a lot of my interview up. They cut a lot of things because I actually spoke about like how good things like Andy Price doing the cards and stuff for that was like such a game changer compared to like the Enterplay, who didn't really do any of that, and so that like it brings so much life into the cards which the others don't do. Like there's so many companies that do pony cards out there, including in China. You get like the free Talos cards and Binchling cards, but only like Kayou's doing these like artist cards which are like is something brand new.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
And I met a lot of people before. Like I knew about 2 reps, international reps, and I pretty much met like quite a few. I met the head international rep. I won't say her name, so I don't want to
Dox her. You don't want to dox her.
Yeah, I don't want to dox her. But and I also met some American reps as well, and they weren't like, to me, they came across as their ABCs. They weren't like, sort of Chinese citizens. They had thick American accents. So yeah, they work for Kayou and they come across as ABCs. And then sort of in the middle of the event, I met the Japanese rep for Kayou, who was a really cool guy, and he introduced me to someone called TT. And TT is the actual guy who designed the card game.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And I was talking to him. He can't speak English, so I had to translate. IPony's like, oh, can you get a signature? And I was like, yeah. And then he's trying to get some like cards and start signing. I was like, oh no, do it when you can.
Yeah, no, I said that like really timidly because I wasn't sure like what the protocol for that was. Like, is it like appropriate to ask for that? Because I know like different cultures have like different like sentiments about that kind of stuff, and I wasn't sure like, is that like appropriate to ask for that or not? Like I wasn't sure.
It was very nice that he did sign the cards though, and wanted to try and do it like straight away.
And I said, oh no, and they go, oh, we'll send it to you.
I see one, the rarity one right there.
And it's today that we got them. And what we got, for those who are listening, so when I opened it up, I thought, oh, these are just the Chinese cards, the Chinese ones. And then I looked at it and went, oh, what's that there? It's English writing. I was like, oh, these are the American ones. And then I looked again and said, what's that writing in it? Oh, it's TT's signature. So we got all of them. I'm obviously keeping Rarity. I've sent Fluttershy to Emily, and I sent Rainbow to iPony. And we got 2 left. We don't know what we're going to do with these. We're still going.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's it. Because Hedge was like, oh, you didn't have to do that. You could have had it in your own collection. I was like, no, I wouldn't do that. So I'm not that kind of person. Like, it's mine, precious. I wouldn't be like that. So yeah, but we got two. We got to think what we're going to do with these. Maybe give them away. I don't know. We have to think about.
Even the English cards, it's very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was just expecting to give me some Lagikar, So when I opened it up, I was like, what?
I wasn't expecting. I was expecting like the game card. I was like maybe like Box 1 Ruby Rare like that, like not the non-art, but.
Yeah, I didn't know what they were going to expect. I just thought they were going to give me like, maybe some like a Kayou card, like I'm
gonna get it encapsulated, and then I'm gonna use it just as my thing.
Yeah, it's a special card. You could always, if you wanted to, you could probably get it like slabbed.
Yep. I'd already talked with Mana Grading about that. They will slab signature cards.
And it's a special signature card. So actually, the rarity that I sent you, my first rarity, you've got one of the first rarity cards I got from the launch of the game cards. But I think this rarity card is definitely a lot better now. It's got TT's signature on it.
Yes.
So I don't feel lost. I was like, oh, I have to buy another one, but now I don't have to now.
You've been rewarded for your generosity.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So, but yeah, I bought lots of stock at I spent about 7,000.
Yeah, which will be just about like £700, somewhere between $700-800, I think.
Somewhere like that.
Yeah, around that. Yeah. And I went back twice. I went there the first time, then I went back during the holiday, and there was so many people there, it was ridiculous. And so, but I was sneaky, and I put this lanyard on, and the security just let me straight in because they thought I was staff because it says Kayou on it, and the Kayou staff were wearing it. So I was being cheeky and I got sneaked in with that and got the stock. So yeah, but that's all I want to do is go and grab the stock and get out because. But yeah, it was cool. And I got for those looking, I got the coins from the event. So yeah, when you buy a box of the coins, you get every single pony. I was expecting them to be like blind boxes and like, oh, I wouldn't get everything. But I managed to get everything, all the coins. My daughter did a video for me. And with all the sales, actually I got every single PR card from the event apart from Twilight. I did get 2 duplicates and I sent them to Emily.
Yes, thank you for those. I will possibly use your card bounty service to get the other ones because they're so cute.
Yeah, they're really nice. And for a while, like the PR cards have been kind of hit and miss, but these ones are really nice. We just go to the right page. So yeah, here they are. So I'm just missing Twilight now, but everything else I've got to show the camera actually. I got these here. So yeah, every single one of them Fly By Me event PR cards, and you get them in like in a little blind pack. So yeah, that was cool that I got that. The only thing I also got was some of the ticket cards. I thought I'd open up one here. Emily bought a whole box, but I sent IPony. I sent you one of these as well in the box. So let's have a quick look, see what it's like. I've not actually opened one of these yet, so let's have a look.
It's Pinky. One of the reasons I wanted these because I really like the search fund tickets, and I just want to see what some other ones are like. My friend saw my short of me opening the search fund ticket and liked it. They bought a pack of the previous Kayou ticket box to open up some of their own.
Awesome.
Well, I think these are better than the old ones. The old ones, the first Kayou ticket ones, I just felt it was too urban. This is actually really nice. It's very demure and elegant. You got the star stuff. It's a nice card. So yeah, but like it's weird because I'm pretty sure the old ones you got two cards in a pack. This one you only get one.
You got in the search fund pack. I've never opened the original Kayou one, so I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure the original Kayou one you got 2 in the box as well. So unless I'm going mad.
Does it say on the pack how many you get?
Right, let's have a look. Okay.
Maybe because they're special event ones, they're just doing 1 per pack.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at later tonight. I'm going to look and find some videos of people unboxing them to remind me. But I just always thought there was 2 because I know Search Fund do 2, and I thought they did 2 as well. But it's 1. But it's a nice card though. It's a really very nice card.
Yeah, it's nice. I'd rather have 1 really nice one than 2 not as nice ones.
Yeah, and I sent actually Emily I sent her another search fund as well, so she'll have a second one to open up on her channel at some point as well.
You did. I'm going to do a short of that soon.
I got this. This is the limited edition stamp book, and I've had people nag me to buy this off me, but I'm like, no, I open it here a little bit. So yeah, let's have a look. But yeah, I thought I would, and this is exclusive items. You can't get them anywhere but the event, and the limited edition. So like, out of all the limited edition stuff I bought, which was the most valuable and probably the most collectible, would be the large plush. Emily's got 1 of 99 of the Fluttershy.
I'm very excited to get her.
So she owns 1 of them. So this is like a gold embossed kind of sleeve here, and a fake kind of stamp.
If I hadn't been buying the plush, and with how expensive that was, I would probably have picked one of these up because it does look gorgeous.
It looks really nice. Looks like whimsical, magical. You know.
I don't want to break the seal. I'm going to keep the seal. I don't want to break the seal, so I'm gonna keep this seal. And it feels like wax as well.
Maybe it is. Maybe
maybe it is wax.
I might need scissors to open this up, actually. I haven't got my scissors. We'll have to use my lighter.
Don't
Accidentally
burn
set
product.
the cards on fire.
Okay. I'm okay.
That's the most metal way I've ever seen someone get rid of a string problem.
Look, we just open up packs here with fire, man. It's what we do.
It's a Gen X way of doing things. You know, just burn it open. You got no scissors? Burn it open. Right, I've got this lid.
Oh, the little cutie marks are constellations. That's so cute.
Very cute.
So there's a plastic kind of like these like decals, like rubber decals, like you stick on things. To show the camera, they're rubber. You've got, I mean, if you can see them, it's you've got all the ponies. They're like sort of they remind me of like stamps in a passport. You see what I mean, like a passport, or and also mail.
Yeah.
Are they like things that can peel off and be stuck onto stuff?
Yes, they're sticky. They are like I would say kind of like a rubber, like a rubber sticker, like transparent with black.
Oh yeah, I've seen things like that before.
I've got it comes
like you put them on like the windows and stuff.
Yeah, so it comes with
oh, Rainbow Dash looks so cute.
I love that hat on her.
Yeah.
The actual this is China Post, and these are actually proper what are they called, postcards from China Post.
Oh, kind of like when Royal Mail do like novelty stamps that you can actually use as stamps.
Yeah, these are.
USPS does the same thing.
The Irish post office does as well, because they did some video game ones one time, and my dad found out and asked a family member of mine over there to send some over for me.
There's the stamps to show the camera as well.
Oh, they're so pretty.
And these are actually real stamps.
Do you know what kind of flower that is?
It looks like the blossom. I don't know. I don't know. We have these trees in my neighborhood, and they look really beautiful. But when the leaves start falling, they make like this like brown slush on the floor. So, yeah.
Oh, right.
But they look really pretty for like about a few weeks, and then they just turn into slush. There's some sort of a card here as well. Oh, it says a number. My one is 556.
Oh, it's serialized?
Yeah, it's a serial.
So that's your copy of the stamp stuff?
Yeah. So collector certification number 0536.
Yeah, no, it's serialized.
There you go.
Fluttershy looks so cute in that too.
Yeah, they all do.
They all do.
Like, I would say, like, this is, I would call like an Art Deco gold and dark cover. I really like Art Deco. It's one of my favorite eras, 1920s. Let's have a quick look at these as well, the cards here, and then we'll move on. I just wanted to show you guys.
Yeah, I assume there's going to be one for each of the girls.
Yeah, I'm assuming that there's one of each.
Okay, let's have a look. Right, we've seen...
Oh, what about Starlight?
Okay, we've got Pinkie Pie, to show the camera, Pinkie Pie. And we have Twilight. In her like sort of weird...
Twilight Sparkle. They literally did a bit in the show itself about one of the dragons not being able to tell the difference between Starlight and Twilight.
Oh, that's so funny.
He's wearing a Pifong here.
She's got a very pretty cape.
Well, yeah, in Chinese they say Pifong. Pifong is a cape, so Pifong. Then we have Pingguo with like a kind of like French style, you know what I mean? It's like a French style schoolgirl kind of outfit.
Like a beret?
Kind of, yeah, with the...
Not a beret.
Yeah, kind of like beret. And you've got those kind of, you know, sort of, you know what I mean about this sort of French, the old French school uniform. That's what it reminds me of. and it's what like inspired also the Chinese girls in uniform. You see what's very popular in anime, but that's where it comes from France. And there's
oh, that's what it reminds me of. Card Captor
Rarity.
Sakura.
Yes. I've seen that anime. Need to watch that.
Again, it's 1920s sort of dressage. And there's Fluttershy.
It looks like she's wearing blush as well.
Yeah, and yeah, she is. Fluttershy. She's got blush.
Very cute.
But yeah, I might send you guys actually.
Yeah. Oh, Fluttershy is as well. Yeah.
I'll send you one actually each. So I'll send this one to Emily, and I'll find the.
Are you sure you don't want to keep it to have like the full collection?
No, I'm okay.
So that you've got.
I'm okay. I just wanted the stamp book, but it's fine.
Got that with the stamps.
Yeah. So I'll keep the stamp.
Thank you.
And I'll just send those off for you guys. I'll put it in your folders.
Thank you.
Because these are meant to be given away. They're meant to be given away to your friends. You know, these sort of things. The rest of it you kind of keep, but these sort of things you're meant to give away.
You know what they say, friendship is magic and all that.
So yeah, that's the some of the actual goods, and I'll put some video footage of the event as well while we've been talking from that. Other than that, like while I was at the event, I got told that the Booster 3 was coming out on the 3rd. That's when I returned, and they only had one case at the event, and I came in and took like 6 boxes. And then like there was a picture of someone at the event, and half of the actual display was missing, and I could tell it was where I had been there, and like pretty much like almost been like a what's it called, those gougers, people who just steal the cards. I'd gone in and raided it.
I'm just imagining you walking up to the shelves and just like grabbing a stack of like boxes in your arms and being like, these ones will do.
I was gonna say, they're not missing, they're just in my shopping bag.
It's like looking at me like I'm a scalper, and like my basket was full of them and other things, and they're looking at me like, oh, scalper. So yeah, and then we did a.
Listen, if they had problems with that, they should have put a limit on how many people could buy.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, like it's been hard to get them. Even like after the event, it's that they're selling so much. Like it's really on an uptick. It seems to be very popular. I think it's because of Halloween. People are trying to get them as quickly as possible to outside of China to like America and places like that. People are like buying like huge amounts.
Okay, can I ask something about Halloween in China? Is it like celebrated in any way?
Okay, this is how it is. So basically, as you know about, right, if you are Scottish and Irish, you will know about the origins of Halloween, and you'll be doing things like Dumb Supper.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what Dumb Supper is?
Oh, I learnt about this, and it's completely
I do not know.
Yeah, and soul cakes, because my family is Scottish and Irish, so we celebrated the holiday as little kids. Then we would even carve not pumpkin lanterns. We used to carve Swedes and turnips.
Yes, I'm remembering now.
That.
Yeah, and you're talking like 1980s, like, so everything we learned like was the proper tradition. And so what happened is the Scots and Irish, obviously what happened to them because of the English being forced out from the Highlands and the Lowlands, and then fleeing to America, including the potato famine and all that, they took their culture with them. But because of like after the sort of baby boom in the 1960s, corporate America kind of like came in and like made it about like candy and like, capitalism.
As they did with almost every holiday.
Yes.
Yeah, and like Santa's only red and white because of Coca-Cola. Yeah, Coca-Cola is the reason why like Santa's red and white.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
Also Rudolph. Rudolph was also just a marketing thing.
And you so you got Irish and Scottish immigrants coming there. People kind of like not understanding fully what like these traditions are, and then corporate America comes in and like makes it like a selling thing, and then it comes to China, and the Chinese don't really understand it, but like the kids think it's all about getting candy. So what happens is that local neighborhoods like will open up little stands in the neighborhood. The kids will go around and trick or treat. But then again, some of the kids then would leave the neighborhood and they go to like the local shops, and they start like filling up their like pumpkins with like the store's candy, and start to try and leave the store because they think like, oh, I can get free candy from anywhere today because it's Halloween. So they don't understand. It's not that they're not being malicious. They just don't understand that like the candy's given out. Yeah,
which is fair.
You're dealing with little kids basically. So, and they end up crying because they think they can, you know, that they want the candy, but like the big kids will go and swoop up all the candy like in America, and the little kids don't get much. So that tends to be what happens.
Okay.
My plan is to hand out Pokemon cards this year.
Hope you didn't get any eggs.
The reason I'm asking is, sorry to tangent slightly. I will not bring this up much, but I play the Genshin Impact game, and they had their like update live stream recently. It's, you know, it's a Chinese made game. Primarily their audience in China is like their biggest revenue, but they're releasing a new like game within the game. They've done this a few times. Essentially, for people that know what it is, they're competing with Infinity Nikki. They've made like a dress up great game within the game. And for the first like aesthetic that they've gone all in on like Halloween witch theme stuff. And I'm like, well, so they've done this, and I know that Kayou have done the My Little Pony Halloween box. I was like, I don't know if this is just like China like embracing Halloween a bit more this year, because I've been playing Genshin Impact for a few years now. This is the first time that they've done like a Halloween based thing, like a Western based type Halloween thing. Most of the time they just have this one character that has a ghost that they just rerun around this time. So I was wondering if it was like being more embraced in China, or if it was just a lot of different Chinese companies were pivoting to appeal more to the Western market during October for Halloween stuff.
Okay, well, basically there's two things there. One, when I first came to China, like it was kind of like meh, but then like after about 2 or 3 years, then like the Chinese government was like really dead against like any sort of foreign holidays, Christmas and stuff like that, and including in schools they'd be like saying, you know, to the kids like, I don't celebrate Christmas, I don't celebrate Halloween. But then again, like a lot of people like myself who, you know, have like, you know, multi, you know, sort of nationality families, or multi, you know, racial, you know, the way we look at it is like, it doesn't matter like what the celebration is, just spending time with family, whether like whatever the celebration is good. But I think the thing what really kind of like got on the wrong side of the Chinese government was that like it actually took away from the Chinese celebration of the founding of the country. So it's like
okay, I see the issue.
Yeah, and you have to understand this. Imagine like if you had the 7th, you know, the Independence Day, and some holiday came along from outside of your country and started literally interfering with that. I think most Americans wouldn't like it. So you have to put your, you know, your shoe and you know your foot in their shoe and understand, like, you know, if you know, I don't know, for example, like some sort of Indian holiday or whatever started happening like during Independence, you know, Day and all that week, I think most Americans would be kind of salty about that, which is understandable.
I got confused for just a moment when you said Indian, because I was thinking Native American for just a second, and I was like, Native American holidays coming to America? Weren't they here first?
I can see why that would sound confusing.
Well, you know, that way it'd be like recolonization. It'd be like, you know, it'd be, you know, where's our holidays? Our holidays back, you know.
Yes.
But yeah, that's the reason why. But these, like the last few years, people have kind of like let it go. But you know, these all things are swings and roundabouts, really.
I just found it interesting that two different things that I follow that are made in China primarily for a Chinese audience were both doing very Halloween-themed stuff. It's just very interesting to me.
I think the second reason you don't know is that like a lot of the Chinese companies realize that like solely relying on the Chinese economy is not sustainable. Not that the economy is bad, it's that like things flitter so quickly in China. Trends, you know, they sometimes will last for many years, sometimes they'll like be very short and burn out. Every single like 2 or 3 months there's always something new, some new fad. And because a factory's producing things, you always get loads of amazing stuff like all the time. So that's the reason why. But like there's no real like sustainability because things are always at a fast pace than any other country I've ever been in.
Yeah, which comes into my other theory of are they pivoting to do at least for this month, do more of a like we'll push the international market more.
Yeah,
that's
I feel like
they're
just trying to push the international market more.
Yeah, that's what they're doing,
you know,
basically.
As being in the international market, I appreciate.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
I like a witchy aesthetic. Halloween is. I like Halloween. I like Halloween aesthetic. I like the witchy aesthetic.
Well, I've seen some of the box 3 like cards and stuff, and man, they are beautiful. I love them. I really love the ruby rares with them in the Candlelight Wedding.
Yeah, we opened a box together, remember? And it was really good on the second podcast.
Yes, the video is up on the channel. So.
That was cool. And yeah, those cards, I think like out of all the boxes, I think it's one of the best so far, I think. And that's not an understatement. Generally, I'm very picky about what box is what. At some point, we need to do that, like as a group, go through all the boxes and vote, like, you know, what's S tier, what's A tier, what's B tier, what's Lagi tier, you know, all the collections.
All the Let's Go boxes are just like at the bottom. They just like.
No, not the fifth one. The fifth one's okay.
Yeah, the fifth one. Okay, now the fifth one, we can all the pink one. I forget what number it is.
3.
Like that one. Gosh, that one like
3.
haunts my night.
Yeah.
3. I opened up so much of that. So much, literally everywhere. I didn't get like anything up until the one that I got from you, which I got my first like CR card, and I was like, I'm done. No more. I never want to see another one of these boxes again.
I can't talk. I've gotten real lucky. I've only opened 3 different Let's Go boxes and I got a CR in each one.
I opened up like 10 boxes of this stuff and nothing. I see it. Oh no.
I'm so sorry. I just got really lucky.
Yes, the bane of my existence.
There you go. There's your bane there. There's your bane. But actually, to be fair, actually, like before 3, they were a lot worse. If you got a blue box, especially a yellow box, the first one, they were far worse for drops. Emily was just lucky that she got one, but like me and Cho, we opened like so many of them in the past, like, and like you just didn't get any CR cards hardly ever. It was so difficult.
Yeah, because I was filming that box. It's a video that's probably going to go up on my channel in a few months because I've got a bit of a backlog. But I'm throughout that video, I'm saying, like, you're not guaranteed a CR in these boxes, so we're not really expecting one. We're just going to see what nice UR cards we can get. And then I pull it in, like, the first of the, like, second half of the box, and I'm like, oh, I wasn't expecting this.
I had that moment when I was opening up the starter decks, because I bought them from eBay, because it was before I really met up with you guys, and I had some friends on the call. I was like, yeah, I hope these aren't like repacks or anything, because like I can't really tell at that time, you know. And I was opening up, and then all of a sudden, just the alt art Ruby Rare Rainbow Dash just pops up, and I was like, oh, I guess these are not repacks.
Yay!
So the weirdest thing for me is when I first met with all, you know, everyone in the West the first time, people were talking about repacks and stuff, and I'm like, you what? People open up the boxes and change the packs? That just doesn't happen in China. And so I'm like, what?
Yep.
That's just people ripping off the foreigners.
Yeah. Well, maybe even.
I mean, they do it with English like Pokemon cards too. Like, is that they'll open up the pack, take out the good cards, put the old bad cards back in, like glue the pack shut, and then like put it back into the boxes.
But yeah, other than that, iPony, because what do you really think of it?
Again, I really like it. It has I don't know, we've mentioned this, is that the English one has officially been announced officially. Like we knew it was coming. Like it's pretty obvious it's coming, but it has officially been announced. And one interesting thing I've noticed is they're actually using the word tap, TAP, to refer to cards turning sideways. So that's fun. Got to use that Hasbro license to its full effect, I guess. So,
and you can also tell us about New York as well, because you have been keeping an eye on the New York event as well.
yes, that happened at New York. Yep. Some English PR cards for the game came out, so that was cool. So, yeah, mostly just wait. Oh, also another interesting thing with English cards is somebody pointed this out, and I mentioned this in the WeChat. I haven't heard replying back that in like the video, it shows one of the Twilight cards, but it doesn't have any game effect on it. The English one, but the Chinese one with the same collector number has game effect on it. So we're not sure what's going on there.
I wonder if when they put that together, they hadn't finished the translation.
Yeah,
maybe because the other cards have their game effect on. You know, it's just that this one particular one didn't.
So from what I could tell about the English release, it's coming. Like, was it spring next year?
Spring
for the
2026.
trading card getting.
Yeah, same time as probably the new Chinese New Year box set.
I've also been told that the next game box is going to be Christmas themed.
Because the thing I wanted to ask about the English release is from what I saw, it looked like they're starting with releasing the structure deck.
Yes, it looks to be. It's going to be the exact same kind of release style they did in China, where it was the
Yeah.
starter decks and then Game Box 1, because they mentioned that the first release is going to have 191 cards, which is the same amount of cards that Booster Box 1 had. So
Okay.
it doesn't seem to be combining sets, from what I can tell.
Okay, so it looks like it's going to be one of those kind of releases where the English editions are a few sets behind the Chinese editions. In your opinion, do you think that works better than if they tried to like quickly pump out English editions, or like start at like, oh well, we've just released this Chinese box, so we'll release that box in English? Which method do you think was the best way to go, or do you think they picked the right method?
So there's two ways of looking at this. There is me, the collector, and me, the gameplay person. And they have two different answers to that question. So me as the collector, I like how they're doing it, you know? Just it makes it easier. It's the same way of doing it. Me as the I want to play this game doesn't really like that so much, because it has to do with meta teching, you know? So we know what cards are coming in the future because they're released in China, and the Chinese gets to play with these cards before we do. So that means they have time to figure out how all the meta for how the cards work before we really have a chance to play with them. So if you like that, if you like tweaking decks and stuff like that to try to figure out what like the most powerful thing is, you're like 2 or 3 sets behind the people in China who've already tinkering with this stuff, you know?
Speaking to TT, and that he told me that like they are going to really push international play, like global play. But I'm guessing they will, and they sound very common sense. So I'm guessing that they would make sure that whatever is being played would be currently out for all territories. So I don't think they would.
Yeah, they might just do a faster release schedule until we're caught up, you know? Like it released, like I said, every like 2 months until we caught up, instead of 3 months like they're in China, and then when we caught up we'll do like, you know,
Yeah,
synchronized
because I
release.
know in Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, I don't play the physical TCG. I played the online client, the Master Duel one. But I know that for the physical card game, they essentially have two metas. They have the OCG, original card game, which is the Japanese one, and the TCG, which is the international one.
Yep.
And the TCG is essentially set behind. Occasionally, they get exclusive cards that get ported into the Japanese version. But
Right,
then
yeah.
it means that they have this weird mixed list when it comes to their world tournament. And it means that everyone has to adjust to this weird mixed list because they don't even have the same ban list. They have completely different ban lists between the OCG and TCG. And I'm worried about that becoming a thing with
Yeah, I know. I'm
My Little
also
Pony
kind of worried
TCG.
about that too. Especially when we saw that Twilight didn't have that card text. That was literally the first thought I thought in my head. It was like, oh no, are there going to be different rule set for the English ones than the Chinese ones?
Mm.
Because that is one way that some companies have found the solution to the problem I mentioned previously. Is just like the international ones have different rule set. So like the things that the original language people figure out may not apply to the international ones because there's different rules. You know.
There's one
Yeah.
thing what you don't really think about, and is remember what Kayou said. You can use the English or the Chinese card. You could have a mixed deck. So in theory, if they do that, go down the path where they don't get things translated or whatever, you can still use the Chinese card with the actual effect on it. It does mean that you're collecting two sets, but you can mix and match because they've told me. Even TT's told me this.
Yeah, which makes me hope that they are just going to be the same,
Yes,
and
I'm
that video
hoping-
is just before the translation is done,
they're-
because
yeah, that-
otherwise it means that for local play at least, it's going to be one of those weird things for someone to get into if they're playing against someone and they're like, wait, that's a Chinese card. That's mine. Why has yours got like writing on it? It's like, oh yeah, the Chinese version of the card does something, whereas yours doesn't. Like, that's going to be really tough.
Oh,
for
they
new
have the
players to get
same
a head
collector
around.
number, same art,
Yeah,
same
'cause, like,
everything.
the Twilight
and
card,
collector
if it
number.
doesn't have the effect, I can see that kind of thing being like really off-putting to new players, and they're like, oh, so I have to be into like the Chinese release of the game as well as the English release, and I don't think that's going to be as appealing.
Yeah, so
Not
let's
because
just
it's
hope-
Chinese specifically, but because it's such a hassle to then have to follow both releases. Whereas if the effect is just missing and it's going to be put onto the card, much less of an issue.
Yes, hopefully.
I can understand that, but also then you got things like Pokemon where you get, like, from what I've been told, like you'll get exactly the same card, but it's got like a Pokeball in it, and because it's got a Pokeball in it, it does a special other little thing, but it's exactly the same as like the normal card, but it's got one bit of detail on it, and it's treated differently.
Yeah, I'm not really into Pokemon gameplay wise. I've not heard of that before, but like I
used to follow it, so unless that's a new rule, that's never been a thing.
Just somewhat chosen.
I know that they have Pokeballs on cards, but mechanically wise in the game they are the same. They're just like, it's just a collector thing. It's like an alternate art thing. But again, I don't really play the game, so I don't know. Maybe they did something like that. Maybe I don't know. It sounds a little weird, but
from what I know of Pokemon, sometimes you can have a Pokemon that is the same on two cards, but they are different numbered cards in the set, and because of that, they will have different abilities. So that Pokeball thing that you were saying, HeiManTou, if I'm remembering correctly, that might be something to do with an ability, but that's not a difference between different languages of the cards. That's just a difference between this is card 3 in the set and card 6 in the set, or something like that.
Because I was trying to understand, I don't collect them, but it's something I kind of picked up from Cho, so it's secondhand, and it was something like caught my interest when they were talking about all the Pokemon stuff. So
I think Cho might be talking about collectability more than playability.
yes, because there are cards that are 1-to-1 exactly the same card, except one has a Pokeball design on it, one doesn't. But that's just collectors. Mechanically, in the game itself, they are exactly 1-to-1 the same card.
Okay. Misunderstood then what he was talking about.
It's also the Master Ball one, which is and stamps and just so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I was actually talking about Pokemon stuff. I did mention to like the team developing the game, I said like, "Have you thought about God packs?" And they're like, and they nodded their head. They didn't say much. They just nodded. So I don't know how they would do that.
Also, one thing that I
So-
really, really hope that they release for the game is some form of draft packs.
Ooh,
God,
yeah.
well, I would love draft packs. Come on, give us draft packs.
Do you want to explain that for anyone that might not be familiar with?
Okay, so I believe it comes from Magic the Gathering. I believe that's where it originated from, but other games have kind of adopted it. Where the idea of, because you have the normal way you play a game is you bring a deck that you've pre-constructed beforehand. You found all the cards, you built your deck, you're bringing it to the tournament just as you built it. Drafting is where you take sealed product and you open up the sealed product and you make a deck based off of the sealed product you open. Everybody plays with the decks that they built through the sealed product. In drafts specifically, because there's different ways of doing this, but draft specifically is that you open up one pack, you pick out one card from that pack, and you pass along the rest of the cards to the next person in line, and you get the cards from the previous person. You're in a circle, and you do this until you've run out of all the cards, and you open up another pack, and you continue to do that. It's such a fun way of playing the game. It's just like my primary way of playing Magic the Gathering now, and yeah, no, it's such fun. You can't really do that though with the My Little Pony card game because of how decks are set up. Because you need story cards, which can be found in the packs, but you need specific story cards, and you can only get 4 of them, and it's just like hard to draft.
I
that.
wonder if the idea would be is like, there's the draft packs, but then there's also like and like guaranteed story card in those packs, and everyone would have to have like the same story cards. So
Yeah, no,
like
there are
4
ways of
story cards
doing
in
it.
here that tell one story, and there should be enough for everyone to get one. Or it might be more of like an alternative one where it's like alternative rule set of like you don't need the specific story cards, you just need 4 story cards.
Yeah, it could be some sort of generic thing, like instead of being like Twilight Sparkle, it would be something like Zakora or something like that. Like you got, it would be some sort of generic.
Yeah, no, I've been toying with various ideas of like how to draft these cards, but it would be really nice to get like an official support for that, because I think it might help out Kayou because it gets people to buy sealed product instead of just.
I was gonna say, then people are just
collecting.
buying more.
Yeah, people are just buying more, so it's perfect.
Other than the card game, since me and Emily spoke, was obviously we opened up plenty of Moon 9. I got to 15 boxes, and now I'm tapping out because I just keep on getting the same old cards. So I've given up. I'm just going to order the rest. But I managed to finish off. I managed to finish the LSRs. I still got like 2 URs to go. Both are, we said like there were 2 secret ones. Technically, there are 3 secret ones because there's the jewel card, which is 18 and 19, and then there's a special Pinkie Pie one where it's like fireworks in the background, and she's holding like a trick-or-treating bag.
Yeah, I didn't think there was one of those. I thought it was just the dual cards, but then I saw that there was another card, and I was like, oh no, another one.
Yeah, so it's technically 3 cards, and I got 2 of the left hand cards, but no right. So I'm gonna have to order like 2, or try and find 2 cards. I got 2 ZRs, and I got the main one I was happy I got is Fluttershy because it's expensive Fluttershy cards, and I got 1 CR. So I got a lot to buy, and the secret ZR is probably the best like Chinese core card that's ever been made because it opens up like a birthday card. It's something very new.
Yeah,
Cool.
that sounds really cool.
Yeah, no, I opened up the U.S. English Moon 7, right? 7.
That's what they released.
Yeah.
So it's North American Moon 1, but it is the North American release of what was Moon 7.
Yeah, so I was one of the very first people to open up that, so that was fun. I cut my finger while trying to open up that stuff. It turns out,
no.
because of the glue, because I was using my finger to like open it, rip off the glue, and it's just like the constant rubbing, you know.
Yeah, they said they were going to redesign that. They said they were going
That-
to redesign that like stuff. But like, I saw you doing it, and you actually got 4 SGRs, and now I'm thinking like, well,
Yes, I got 4 SGRs.
yeah, and so now I'm thinking like, okay, you paid $100 and you got 4 SGRs. Now, if you compare to the Chinese core, it's like, well, the standard is $50 for a box, and if you get a bad box, you're not going to get any SGRs. So the highest you're going to get is maybe 1. Now, we do know that there are double SGR boxes, but we've only ever seen that in Moon 5. We've never seen it anywhere else, only in Moon 5. So, like, for $50, you're getting 1 SGR. So it would take you $200 of Chinese core to get the same amount of cards. So double the price. So price-wise, I think, actually, the English, in theory, is going to be the better box, money-wise, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, but we are going to need some more data because...
So I'm looking at the odds, and the odds
Yeah.
are saying that you do or you're not guaranteed the SGRs.
Yeah, because those 4 out of 24 packs are like the high packs.
Yeah.
You may get LSRs in each of those instead.
Which would be the equivalent of a bad box if you got that stuff all together.
Yeah.
But you do get 4 rolls, though.
Yeah, so the chances are low that you would get that few, but I wouldn't be surprised if what we find is that iPony got quite lucky, and actually the average is that you get 2 SGR per box.
Yeah.
Emily's going to like compare all 3 hopefully soon in the video, which will be interesting.
Yes, I mean it will be with limited data, but I am going to have a proper video comparison going through it all. Currently, it's mostly
hopefully you get the box with like 4 CRs.
That would be great.
Because according to the odds, it looks like you can potentially get 4 CRs.
Yeah. Do you mean SCs?
Yeah, SC. Sorry, SC. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I was just making sure that I was getting it right.
You can potentially get. Sorry, I misspoke. SCs.
CRs are Let's Go. So yeah, they're the highest.
No. 4 SCs potentially in this box.
Theoretically, you could. Yes.
And if you take what it is now, what will Moon 8 and 9 be in the English launch? Because when you start throwing in the ZR cards...
I think they are just going to make it exactly the same in terms of like 4 packs can have a high card. They're just going to make it so that a ZR is potential for those as well.
So you get 4 ZRs.
You could. Maybe you could.
I reckon the highest would be 2. That's what I'm guessing.
What's most intriguing, though, is the little extra thing that you get in the box.
Yes. I opened it up and I was like, what? I was not expecting that. Like, I don't think it ever tells you that you get that.
Yeah, so you get the what we all thought was going to be the New York Comic Con exclusive card, which is it seems inspired by the second game booster box with the like broken mirror Discord style stuff. It's a box topper for the box as well. The only difference with the New York Comic Con one isn't even that they've got anything extra printed on the card. It's a sticker on a sleeve. Did you say that the New York Comic Con one is?
Yeah, sticker on a sleeve. I thought it was like one of the Pokemon does stamps, you know? I thought it was that for a moment, but until somebody like actually had it, it's like, no, it's just like a sticker on the sleeve.
Yeah, so if you were upset that you missed that card, just buy a full booster box and you get one in it. Are they going to be producing a new box topper promo card for every single box?
I got a funny feeling they might do. The reason is because in February, it's one of the things, when I sat down on a 3-hour meeting talking to Kayou, and I said, look, not being funny, but like, if you release the cards in the West, you need to kind of make it, catch up or do something special for the Americans and the West, because like China's had so many PR cards, and like there's no kind of real way of getting them. You know, the way that Chinese do them, and like I said that they'd have to think of a better way of doing it in the West, because I just didn't think it would work the way that PR cards are handed out originally, because these days it's very different how they hand out PR cards. But back in the day, basically your shopkeeper you used to go to would be given a handful of like PR cards, and if you bought X amount of product, they would give you a PR card. And it wasn't even sleeved, it was like in a drawer loose. And I said to her, that won't work. You need to kind of think of a new way of doing it. So I don't know whether they listened to me, probably not, but like I did bring that up in a meeting with them in February, saying they need to rethink how they're going to do PRs in the West. And I'm happy to see that they are, you know, making it an experience for the Westerners to actually start getting some PR cards.
Yeah, it's good.
Or randomly, I just got a random misprint box and it wasn't supposed to be in there. We don't know. No one has. I've never seen anyone actually open up another one of these boxes with it. So.
Well, when my box arrives, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it could be random. It could be like, you know, you're lucky.
It could be random.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know.
We'll find out. Yeah, when Emily opens up hers, we might have a better.
Because I've been reading like the literature on the box, you know, to see if it like tells you about like the box topper, but nowhere does it tell you about the box topper.
To be fair, I don't think the old Enterplay boxes used to tell you about the box toppers either.
Yeah, so I
this is actually a thing. This is a thing. Box toppers. I've never heard of this.
Yes, it's called box toppers.
That's why there's a name for it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why there's a name for it.
We don't have this in China.
Not every company does them. In fact, most don't.
Yeah.
Pokemon started doing it again.
Oh, did they start doing it?
They started doing it again. Yep.
Yeah, because I collected Pokemon like midway towards the end of the XY era, and then the early Sun and Moon era, and they didn't do it then. So it's nice to know that they're doing it again.
They're doing it again. Yep.
And other than all these sort of things, so should we get on to Emily and her like manic adventure?
Oh, even more than I've told you guys so far, it was manic. Not for me necessarily, just in general.
I'm guessing because you had to travel down, didn't you? Like from Yorkshire to where is it? Manchester, where the event was this year?
No. So I was at UK PonyCon, and their regular venue is in Nottingham, which is quite good because that's where my boyfriend lives. Last year we both went together for the first time. I just stayed over at his house. It was a great time. We really enjoyed it. This year, there was, when they went to get their regular venue, they were told they couldn't have it. Something else was happening. So the alternative dates they were given, they knew weren't going to work because they were aware that other conventions were going on at those times that people that attended PonyCon would be going to. So they had to very quickly find a new venue. And they went with a, like, I've forgotten what it's called. I think it's called the Birmingham Central Conference Centre or something like that. So it was in Birmingham this year. So they have a theme every year as well. This year's theme, they went with adventure because it was in a new place. We were adventuring somewhere else. And that's where the first, like, hassle came in, is that it felt quite late for even the artists signing up because they just wanted to make sure they could secure the venue. And I'm very glad that they did. So yes, I had to travel down to Birmingham, which is, I wouldn't say it's necessarily much further than if I'd had to go down to Nottingham, but it did mean that we had to get a hotel. And what was nice is that the conference centre is connected to a hotel. So unfortunately, me and my partner did not get a room at that hotel, but there was another hotel not too far away. We just had to walk like 10 minutes. Problem being that the weekend of PonyCon, the UK was being hit by a storm. Now, obviously, nothing as bad as like the typhoon that happened recently in China, which is, you know, backed up a lot of orders, meaning that some of the stuff I was meant to take to PonyCon, I couldn't. But it was enough that it was like, this is very windy, and I was wearing I was doing my first ever cosplay and I had a wig for that. Now, luckily, when I arrived, I wasn't wearing it because we went there on the Friday. And there were concerts that you could go to on the Friday evening. Me and my partner weren't too bothered about that. We just went, we collected our tickets early so that we could get in quickly on the Saturday morning and then just went back to the hotel. It did mean that, because I had planned to take an umbrella that would work in the wind. I didn't have it, so my mum gave me a different one and said, "Oh, it's a good quality umbrella." Went inside out straight away, broke. So I'd
I'm back, by the
quickly
way.
go buy a coat.
Typical England weather.
Yeah, I didn't trust the umbrella when I first opened it. I was like, this isn't going to work. Lo and behold, I went outside, walked about like not even a minute, and already I'm like, this umbrella's terrible. But terrible weather aside, because I now had a coat, I had a hood I could put up, so that kept my wig a bit neater as I walked from my hotel to UK PonyCon. I was in a goth Fluttershy cosplay. It was very fun to put together. I was very
cool.
happy with
I'm
it.
part of a cosplay group, so
Nice. Yeah, I'm sure I've got a couple of pictures I'm sure we can show at this point. I don't wear makeup. I had to learn to do makeup. Makeup is hard.
Really? Jesus Christ.
makeup is hard.
I was a goth.
Makeup is
I was a
hard.
goth, so
Yeah, I mean maybe it wouldn't have been hard for you. No, I didn't go all out. I didn't bother with like doing like a foundation and sorting out my face because I'm relatively pale anyway. So I was like, I think my skin tone probably is fine. So I just figured out how to do like a smoky eye look, and I happen to have some like deep purple lip gloss that my mum lent me. So I was like, oh, this works really well. So got there, got straight in, had a quick look around the stalls because I pre-bought some little ears to clip into my wig so that I would have little Fluttershy pony ears as well. Didn't manage to find any wings in time that I liked, but maybe in the future. The opening ceremony was great. They introduced Rebecca Choiquette, who was the voice of Sunset Shimmer, and the singing voice for Twilight Sparkle, which is awesome. She did a couple of other background characters as well. Including Sugar Belle, who I know that HeiManTou, you haven't gotten to this point in the show, but
no, I haven't seen Sugar Belle yet.
Yeah, but Sugar Belle will come up at some point, and she made a surprising return in some later episodes as well when we thought she was a one-off character, so that was quite nice. So yeah, they introduced her and Imalou, who is a French fan artist who then went on to become one of the character designers for Generation 5. She designed Sunny. So that was really cool.
Yeah, I swear I saw her. The Shanghai Brony event. I swear I saw her.
Maybe she was there. I didn't get a chance to talk to her during the event, unfortunately. So, because I would have liked to, but the couple of times I went over to her stall where she was selling some of her artwork, she wasn't there, unfortunately. But which is understandable. She had other things that she had to be doing at the convention as a guest. Yeah, all the stall holders were lovely. I went to some great panels. Because UK PonyCon is based in like before G4, it's founded early 2000. It's very much started as a toy collectors kind of convention. There's a lot of toy collectors there as well, and a lot of people that enjoyed G1. So I actually went to a panel on Generation 1 Lost Media, which was really interesting. Yeah, it was mostly about like TV cuts that then didn't make it onto VHSs and DVDs, and a lot of stuff that has only shown up recently. And let me just bring up the name of it, because HeiManTou, you're going to be interested in this. Because the same media place that looked for this G1 Lost Media stuff, they do a lot of other shows that were made at that time, including the 80s Transformers shows, and look for Lost Media from that.
Cool.
It is, if anyone is interested in this kind of thing, I wrote it down.
Someone who has joined Lost Media hunts and actually have found Lost Media myself.
Ooh, nice.
I am very interested.
Okay, so it is called the Sunbow Archives. SUNBOW. The Sunbow Marvel Archive. And they look for old original scripts, storyboards, other production stuff from Sunbow Productions and Marvel and stuff, primarily from that 80s kind of era. So yeah, if you're interested in that kind of thing, check it out there. Some of the stuff that I was shown at the panel is probably in that archive. So I went to that. A really fascinating panel on like medieval storytelling and how that has influenced shows today, including My Little Pony. An actual like academic was presenting that panel. She was wonderful. And I did a couple other things on Saturday, including going and getting an autograph from Rebecca Choiquette. I got one of my Sunset Shimmer UR cards signed by her. I'm very happy with it.
Beautiful.
And then, yeah, loads of stuff happening on Saturday. I may have been stressing a little bit too much on the Saturday about finding a pen that would work.
Yes, I'm just
hopefully
going
it
to
didn't
buy a
stick.
gold, like acrylic.
Yes, gold
pen.
Sharpie.
Yeah.
We got there, and she had a
Yeah.
gold Sharpie. We used my test card on it, and it worked well. Clearly, they know in China that it works well because that's what TTs use to sign the cards.
Yeah.
So yeah, gold Sharpie, guys. If you want your card signed, that's the one to go with. So that was Saturday. Me and my boyfriend were there. Our friend unfortunately got there quite late on in the day because of the storm. But they did get there eventually, and they were running a table the next day. They're called A Single Petal. They do wonderful artwork. And we all went and got dinner together at the hotel. It was great. And then Sunday, we were getting ready to go to set up a Petal stall, and they sent me a message saying, opening has been delayed. One of the hotels that a lot of volunteers and staff are at had a fire last night.
Oh, no.
Really?
Yeah. Everyone was okay. I think a couple of people had to be treated for smoke inhalation, but no one got caught in the fire. And most people did still make it to the convention a little bit later on. They were just really tired and quite like frazzled. But UK PonyCon were very professional about it. They put it out on all of their socials, everywhere that they could. They reorganized all of the panels and stuff that were meant to be happening earlier on in the day because they opened like 2 hours later. They managed to rearrange almost all of them so they still went ahead. They were very quick and organized about it, considering how many of their staff and volunteers were involved in the whole situation. So, yeah. So that was a weird start to the Sunday. But luckily, it seems like most people still went along. I helped out with Petal. Oh, I forgot something about Saturday. There was a card swap meet. I'm going to get back to that. At Petal Stall, I was also giving away some packs, but it was the space was a bit more cramped than I initially expected, and there were some panels I wanted to go to. So Petal said, "Listen, I'll just give some random packs to people whenever they buy something. You go along to the panels and stuff." So I went to one on good techniques for analyzing My Little Pony media. There was one that I was really excited about called MLP Reanimated. It was a preview for a project that's going up on another YouTube channel. I highly recommend if you like watching people analyze My Little Pony. He's called Gator Goat Johnny. He has been working with loads of animators and has been funding this whole project out of pocket so that the different animators reanimate a section at a time, the entirety of the episode Magical Mystery Cure, the season 3 finale. It wasn't fully finished. We saw like an early preview version of it, but it's wonderful. And there's so many different animation styles and they all flow into each other so well. There's a mix of people that are professional animators on it, people that are amateur animators and are like just starting out. It's such a cool project. And he said that the final project should be uploaded on his YouTube channel in November, hopefully. So if you want to see that, highly recommend. They did a previous one for one of the Generation 5 Tell Your Tales, the short, like 5 to 10 minute YouTube ones. They did When the Misty Clears, which is one of the better episodes of that show. You can already see that one. But yeah, Sunday was a whirlwind of going to all these panels and going around to get my shopping done. So many things that I wanted to get had already sold out, and I was a bit disappointed.
Yeah, you gotta go Friday. Friday is the moment it opens if you want something specific, because it will be gone by Sunday.
Yeah. So if you're going to a convention, so I've gone to plenty of conventions, like more general ones, and they don't tend to sell out very quickly with things at those. or they tell you if you've had an interest in something like, oh yeah, that one's selling quickly, or I've not got too many of those ones left. With this one, I was like, oh, okay, you got to get in there quick. I see.
Yep.
But yeah, overall, fantastic event. The fire was a big disappointment, but most people were very understanding, and we all were just happy that the event was still running more than anything. The fact that they managed to put that together. But just to circle back, seeing as this is the Pony Card podcast, I'll finish on the card swap meet. I was expecting people would be there with Enterplay cards and talking about that. So when I arrived, I was really pleasantly surprised to see everything was Kayou. Yeah, so there is
getting
this whole like
huge.
little community of UK collectors that I just didn't know about, and I was really happy to find. It wasn't like massive. There weren't loads of people there. Some people did come in just interested, wanting to know what the cards were and learn about them. I'd taken a bunch of packs to give out for free. What I realized was that I should have taken a trade binder with me because loads of people had trade binders, and I was like, ah, damn it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm going to bring at my next con. I'm going to bring a trade binder. I'm going to bring out packs. It's going to be great because, yeah, no, I'm just going to like leave cards in random places. And it's like, I can't wait for next year to come back to this hotel and find this random card I shoved back here. Still there.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm now in a server that is UK based. I think you guys have been invited along as well, just because.
Yes.
Not so much for the trading aspect, but just because there's like a lot of knowledge on the cards and stuff. But it is intended to just be like for people based in the UK to help find other UK collectors.
I actually found that Discord far more like friendly than ones I've been to before. As you know, I went to a bunch of them, IPony knows, and people kind of rubbed me the wrong way or kind of ganked on me, and I was like, you know, guys, you wouldn't be like getting shitty at me if you knew who I was. But for some reason they were being really kind of like aggressive, and I was like, okay, this is not for me. And then I went to that UK PonyCon like group, and they're just it's just so much better. It's just they're really friendly and chill, and like, you know, they recognize who I am and my collection. They've seen it, and they've made me an expert on their cards because I've been like, a few of the people have been showing me their cards, and I've been verifying their card to see if it's fake or whatever, and educating them on what to look for, because I'm a 2-year veteran of trading these cards like professionally, so I know what's fake and what's not fake. So they like really, you know, they listen to what I have to say, and like they know that I'm legit.
Yeah. So yeah, it was great. There was loads of other stuff that I didn't even get to. There were even more panels. Saturday there were more concerts on. If I had like prepared myself for like going to a concert, I would probably have gone along, but I kind of want to rip my ears off after a concert because I can't deal with the ringing in my ears, so I need my earplugs if I'm going to them, and I didn't have my earplugs with me, so I was like, I can't go to these, that's not going to work. But there was like a crafting area so that kids could go along. There weren't too many kids this year, actually. I feel like last year I saw more, but there were a few here and there. There was a little adventure treasure hunt. There were these maps that they'd hidden around the convention venue, and some of them had letters on, and if you found all 8 letters and figured out what word it was, you could take it to someone at the official merch booth, and if you got the word right, you got a free sticker. So that was fun. I didn't manage to complete that. I only found 4 of the letters, but it was still fun when I did find them, and I was like, oh, maybe this one will have a letter on it. Oh no, there's no letter on this one.
Yes. Sounds fun.
So I couldn't go to the charity auction because something else I was interested in was on at the same time. So I don't actually know how much the things that we donated got yet, and the total figure hasn't been released. However, I'm going to try and find that information soon, and hopefully I can give an update on that next time. But when I was at the card swap meet, Bexy, who was like the head and like organizing stuff as far as I know, I mentioned that I donated some of the Kayou stuff to the charity auction, and she seemed really excited about that. So I'm hoping that indicates that she thinks that people would have been interested in those.
Yeah, and I'm gonna donate the English moon box, the new one, the US one. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna throw that in there, and
Nice.
we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, because I had 2 spare Chinese decks. I had a Applejack and a Fluttershy, and I didn't just want to give the boxes over, especially because I'd already opened like the packs that were inside of them. So I was like, well, let's make these nice. So I bought Dragon Shield sleeves that match the colors. I got yellow for Fluttershy. I couldn't find orange for AJ, but they were copper, which was close enough. And then I got deck boxes for each of them that also were like yellow and orange. So they were like properly like ready to like actually pick up and play.
One thing I would say is, yeah, I spoke to Kayou at the international reps, and including the boss, the Laban, the boss, and I told her about the charity event. They were super like hyped up about that. They really liked the sound of that. I explained about what the charity does, and they sound really kind of like thankful that we did that. So yeah, like they.
Yeah, and if anyone's interested in that, check out the first podcast episode that we did because we went into quite a lot of detail on the charity there.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely try to get a recording of my box when they auction that off, and we'll see how what ridiculous price it's gonna go for.
Hopefully, earning lots of money for charity.
Yeah, no, I might bring some examples of cards, like the SGRs that I have, and be like, you look at the cool cards you can find within this box. It could be yours. You just bid high enough.
Maybe that's what we could do actually, with these cards here. Given away at the charity, these last 2, one for America.
We could do that. Actually, sounds really nice. I know you were told not to sell them, but maybe you say, "Listen, is a charity auction okay?"
They would be cool with that. But like, yeah, maybe one for America, one for the next PonyCon. We've got.
Well, I'm hoping to go to another convention called Griffish Isles. I can't confirm if I'm going or not yet. I need to look into it more. If they have a charity auction, I could take it there.
Have you heard of Trotters? I found them out as well. I don't know where they're based, but like.
That I tried looking them up and I couldn't find them. I found a Scottish convention called Brony Scott.
Yeah, I saw that. I'll send you the link to Trotters. I think it's kind of a more newer one, but like they got a Facebook group. Because I've been advertising a lot of stuff on Facebook, and I bumped into them.
Because I tried looking them up and I couldn't find anything. But maybe I just wasn't searching effectively. I was, when I was looking it up, I think I was quite tired, so I probably wasn't looking very well.
When it comes to if a convention is going to have a charity auction, almost 99% of the time they will, because I'm in the back end of things. It mostly has to do with taxes, because how you set up your event, you have to like do charitable things to get like your tax forms. So that's one way they do that is with a charity auction.
Oh yeah, I know this because my mum used to work for the National Deaf Association for Children, and every so often they would do some sort of charity event, and it would write off the taxes. This is when I was a kid. I remember them talking about this as adults, talking about how they got rid of all the kind of tax deductions, and that, even in the UK. And this was back in the sort of 90s. So yeah, you're right there. I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting though because like I said, I go to quite a few more generic conventions, and also the other like specific convention that I have been to in the past is V Expo, which is a VTubers convention. And I don't think any of them have had charity auctions. It's only UK PonyCon that I've been to that.
It came okay. I know a little bit about convention history. If you want me to like go on a little bit of a tangent.
Sure.
Cool.
So the charity auction actually spawns from furry conventions.
I'm not
actually.
surprised.
Yeah, because furry conventions were the first cons to start doing that for various reasons. And lots of people who are in the Brony convention, Brony series comes from the furry side. So when they started making conventions and bronies, they just kind of modeled it after how furry conventions do it. And that's why the charity auction is a thing in the brony.
Yeah. So I wonder when the UK PonyCon one started, because that one won't have been influenced by furry conventions quite as much.
That's quite as much. Furry convention's been going on since the early or late 80s, early 90s.
Maybe it was then.
Because, yeah, the first one was 1989.
You also have to remember, but the UK is kind of one of those weird countries in the whole of Europe, which really does a lot of charity stuff. I mean, like back in the 80s, you had Live Aid and all these things, Red Nose Day, Comic Relief.
I mean, we still have Red Nose Day. We still have Children in Need.
Comic Relief.
Yeah, Comic Relief. There's a Sports Relief one now as well, where it's more sports based.
It's just a British staple since the 80s about giving charity. It's just a part of like British culture, really, to be to help those in need. So even if it wasn't influenced by furry culture in America, I still think it would have happened anyway, because at the core of British people, we tend to be a lot of charities, in the UK.
That's true.
It's weird because in China, it's not a kind of thing here. The way charities are, it's very different. It's not like people want to, help people. It's just like you just don't really see it that much. If that makes sense. It's you just don't really see it. Different cultures,
So that's fun, and also that these charity auctions things just go for ridiculous prices.
Oh yeah, like that's the thing. It's like people can sometimes know that they're paying more than what they could get the item on like eBay or whatever, but because it's for charity, they'll just pay that extra.
Yeah, it's more just them donating to the charity, and just the item is just a fun bonus. People normally treat it like that.
So yeah, I think we would definitely probably give these then out as a charity thing. So one would be for the UK and one would be for America. Maybe I'll send this actually with you guys. Your next delivery or your current delivery, I'll put it in there for you guys. So which one, IPony, do you want for America? Which one do you reckon?
Could always just like flip a coin too.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Let fate decide.
And I'll send Emily the other one.
Yeah, I think they both do great in either.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've just noticed they say Alicorn and Earth Pony in the corner.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, because that's their type. Because these are actual game cards.
Yeah, Alicorn. Yeah. And one thing I did notice about these English cards, you will see on these PR cards, one thing is missing, and that is the first edition stamp. And that's what I said. Do you remember, like the last podcast me and iPony had? I said, whatever you do not get rid of your Chinese cards, because they got those stamps on there, which is first edition. And people made a big mistake during Moon 1 by getting rid of or selling off their cards, and now they're like crying because those cards go for a lot of money now. So yeah, definitely keep all of your original cards, because they're going to be worth a lot in 5 to 10 years time. They'll be ridiculous money.
I can imagine, especially if Kayou really like takes off like we hoped. Like I posted about the English card announcement on the subreddit, and literally I made it to number 2. The second biggest post of the day was that. Like I got so many like comments and upvotes.
Crazy.
Yeah, literally like my phone went insane.
One last thing, actually, when you talk about the games, we have got 15 beta keys, and we're giving them out as a giveaway, a competition. We still need to finalize our ideas on what we're going to do about that, but we have been given by TT and his team 15 codes which don't require any ID and whatnot, because in China you have to have a Chinese ID card and be a resident. These are universal codes, probably the only 15 there are, and we will probably be the only foreigners playing the new game app. I've been playing it for a few days, just like going through and setting things up. Emily's just got into it. IPony's just got into it. And so, yeah, our plan is to do a giveaway through each of our channels. We will give the details later on. But but what do you think so far of the app?
I
haven't done lots with it. I played through the tutorial because I haven't played the game before. But I think the tutorial is very good because I understood how to play the game. I didn't even need to look at the guide too much to translate the Chinese to English. I was just like, oh, I have an idea of what stuff is happening now. I did have to occasionally scan some of the text for what the card said so that I understood what the card did. But overall, it was really fun. I haven't built a deck yet, mainly because I don't know the best way to build a deck.
I had the same problem. I was like, "Where's IPony?" I was like, "Where's IPony? Where's IPony?"
I've been doing a bit of strategy. I haven't had time. I have a lot of play testers, to sit down and play a lot. So I haven't perfected it, but the strategy that I've been going for generally is a lot of little creatures and removals and buffs is how I do. Because lane based, just try to overwhelm my opponent with just sneaking in there and doing a direct hit every now and again. That's when I had the Rainbow Dash starter deck plays.
One thing I did find was that the experience I had back in February with the launch of the game, at the launch of the card game, and playing the app, it was the same enjoyment. I found it it flowed in the same kind of way, because obviously it's the same game, but it was as enjoyable. So that's what I found for me, my first initial experience in the app.
Yeah. Now, obviously, being a test, we've just got all of the cards that are released. We don't know if in the final version, if that's going to be the case, or if there's going to have to be a way that you obtain the cards, do we?
We don't know that. It's still in Chinese, but as I said, we're working all together to kind of translate and do a guide about how to set up the app, download the app. We have been having issues, but we've been reporting them back to Kayou. The only big issue we found so far is when you make a deck, you need to write the deck name in Chinese. If you try and save a deck in English, the app bugs out. But in our guide, you just copy and paste. I put the names of all the ponies, the 6 main ponies, in Chinese. You just copy and paste it, and you can paste it directly into the app. Later on, I fixed that problem, but that's a bug I found already.
Whoa, bug testing.
Yeah. But yeah, so stay tuned for a giveaway announcement. We don't know if it's going to be in a Pony Card podcast, if it's going to just be that we'll each make posts on our own channels. We're figuring it out.
Yeah, we're figuring it out. Yeah,
Once we've got the guide sorted, mainly, and then
I can't wait till I can find the game-breaking strategy of turn 1 winning in this game. That's gonna be fun to figure out.
Power Munchkin already.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that quite yet, because you have to attack multiple times. But the moment that they introduce multiple attacks for the same creature, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, you've said that once or twice before. What is Munchkin?
Okay, so
in this instance.
Okay, so Munchkinning is also known as power gaming.
That one I know.
Yeah, so Munchkinning, so back in a sort of I'd say late 90s, early 2000s, I was a part of a gaming group in Hampshire, and one of those individuals wrote books, many books, like the Munchkin's Guide to, 3rd Ed D&D, and he'd done a bunch of things. But basically, the people in my kind of town, they played most games, like tabletop games and card games, in a kind of vicious and stitch up way to kind of screw with each other, but kind of not in a sort of vindictive way, more like in a kind of like school ground, I slap you around the head and run away kind of, kind of thing, happy slapping kind of thing. So it's kind of like, oh, you just did that to me, I'm going to get you back, kind of thing the next time, that kind of thing. Basically, it's that kind of school grounds kind of like behavior. I'll just stitch you up rotten, so it's basically like that. It's not done with malice.
Okay. Because I think the term that I hear more often, particularly applied to like D&D and stuff, is min-maxing.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's min-maxing.
Yeah, but this is done like in a way to kind of screw over your friends. The screw over your friends and do it to them. And like, remember that time I screwed you over by doing this like, power move on you and you lost in like 5 seconds? Well, I'm going to do it again. So,
because min-maxing comes from minimum maximization, is where you take all your points that you have and put it into like one stat, and you're terrible at everything else. But because you dumped all your points or stats or whatever into this one thing, you do that one thing so amazingly that you can just beat anybody at this one thing, and you just use this one thing as a hammer to beat everybody else, because no one can beat you with that because you just dumped your entire points into this one stat.
Yes, we when
you're a gigantic hammer, everything is a nail.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of like, just sort of, I said, it's like a school ground, playground, stitch up your friend kind of thing,
Okay, thank you for explaining that. Because I was like, I feel like this isn't quite the same as min-maxing, but that was the closest thing I could think from my head.
I mean, if you're a greybeard like I am when it comes to like tabletop and that kind of stuff, then this is kind of, especially in England, it's basically how can you break the system, how can you break the game, and screw over your friends in the process. So, but it's done as a kind of joke.
Yeah.
A joke.
Power word stance? Which in old D&D, power word stance was something like, if an ability were to affect you for more than one round, the ability ends. And it was supposed to be like, if you were like poisoned or like cursed or something, it would stop it. But people were like, wait a minute, the sun is affecting my character for more than one round. I just use the ability and turn off the sun.
Yeah, I mean, those silly things like and this sort of stuff, it went from tabletop and then went into MMORPGs. So, but like the sort of things we did in MMORPGs, we end up a lot of people getting banned. Like, I just lost my account because it was like you found an exploit, but the exploiting of the thing was like, it wasn't done to screw over people. It was like to see like how funny something was. So, for example, in Galaxies, a friend of mine, like one of the first Jedi's, handed back then you could put your lightsaber into your droid, but you couldn't pass someone who wasn't a Jedi your lightsaber. So you would put your lightsaber into the droid, then transfer the droid, and then my friend, who was a smuggler, would slice up the lightsaber, make it crazy, hand it back. Then the Jedi would make the new version using the old one, and did it several times, and in between each time slicing it up, to the point where like there was a crate dragon, and he'd walk up to it and one hit it. And these like creatures take like several, like at least like 20 minutes to kill for most people to kill, but he would just walk up and hit it with one hit, because we were just like playing around with the system to see how we could break it. It wasn't really to screw over people. It was just like, how could we like, do funny things in the game, but we'd end up getting like banned in the process.
Yeah. Sometimes exploits are just things that the game designers see as like, now you're cheating, and it's like, I kind of see it.
Yes,
depends on what it is.
I played an MMO called RuneScape.
We wouldn't do it in PvP. It was just like, let's see what we can do, how we could break the system.
People were were doing that kind of stuff in PvE against various boss monsters, and then farming the drops, and then selling the drops for real world money.
Yeah, we didn't redo that. Like, we didn't.
Yeah, that's when the problems come in.
We would kill it. We wouldn't touch it. We would kill these things and then not touch it. It was just like we just wanted to see what would happen. So that's the difference.
Oh yeah, which is fair, but other people would absolutely use it for
people
like,
would do it.
monetary gain.
And that's but to a dev or CSR agent, to them it's the same thing. So they're going to ban you. So that's what would happen.
Unless of course you do it and then you report it to them, like, hey, by the way, I found this exploit. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Bug bounty. Give me the bug bounty.
There's some games you actually got a badge for that in like City of Heroes and City of Villains. If you found a bug and you reported it and it was a really bad bug, you got a badge. And I actually found a really nasty bug in that game. There was this thing where you could go back in time in the content, put yourself at a certain level back in your past, like a level 1 and level 2 or whatever. And so I went through this thing Ouroboros, went back to like level 30 when I was level like the top level, and then I went to a PvP zone, and then removed myself from Ouroboros, and it meant it, and like in this zone it's only level 30 players, and when I ejected myself out, I was running around a level 30 PvP zone as a level 50. So it was like, what are you doing here? How did you get into this zone? And I reported the bug, and like they just fell on deaf ears. That's the kind of sort of funny things I would get up to. Like I'd find these like weird bugs and go like, oh,
I'm sure you've heard the words, "This is the way." But have you ever stopped to feel their weight? The Mandalorian is more than a story, it's a code. A creed about loyalty, found family, and the journey of redemption. So as we wrap up, remember, whether you're forging your own path or standing by those who matter most is the way. Hit subscribe, and let's explore the galaxy together.